Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 2nd. We are going to jump right in here, Libra. You have this Golem card. It says, a close friend acts on your behalf. You have the Caduceus, and it says, you will receive news from afar. So there could be a friend that is reaching out to you with important information. You know, the Caduceus is the staff of Hermes, and Hermes is Mercury, so that's why it represents communication. And it also shows up on the Two of Cups. And that kind of is popping into my head for you, Libra, the Two of Cups energy. So what I would say there is that the Two of Cups can be you communicating with your higher self. And, this could include like dreams, daydreams, could represent like sign symbols, synchronicities, things like that. So I would definitely be paying attention to any like sign symbols, synchronicities, dreams, daydreams, all that other stuff that could be happening. You cannot make this up. I'm pretty sure you had this card with me like 3 times now. This card that says releasing blocks, which is crazy to me. I don't even know how that's possible. I shuffle these decks before I do all these readings, so I don't know, kind of interesting that you've been getting that card. Like, at least I'm pretty sure in your June reading you had that card, if I'm not mistaken. So, weird, but we'll take it. But anyway, I was saying Two of Cups, you don't have the Two of Cups here, but it doesn't matter. I think that this is saying you need to pay attention to the messages that you're receiving. You have the Knight of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the King of Cups. The Knight of Wands is about being spontaneous, which is really the energy that I get for you here in this reading, is that, being more spontaneous at this time would be a good idea. I'm also getting that you should pay attention to like random spontaneous opportunities that come your way. So this could be like a boss that offers you something, or like a friend that wants you to hang out or whatever. I kind of feel that, I think maybe like serendipity energy, where it's like, a friend invites you out and you meet like the love of your life, or maybe you need a job and a friend invites you out and you get a job while you're out. Like you meet a person who's like, oh, we're hiring, that type of thing. So I don't know what to call that other than serendipity, but again, there could be a lot of those moments if you put yourself in position to have those moments. And I think those moments will come for you. Maybe we'll call it dumb luck or something like that. I think those moments will come for you this week if you take advantage of like random opportunity. I think everybody is being asked to break out of a comfort zone, to do something different, to break up the routine. And it's like something I've been very focused on in my personal life. My life has basically been the same for the past like 3 years or so. And just like, I just keep doing the same thing every single day, right? So like, even this week, I joined a class that I'm going to be taking, and, just to get out of the freaking house, right? And do something different. And it's kind of hard to describe, but the Knight of Wands is like, he just wants you to explore. He just wants you to have new experiences. Again, the class I'm taking has nothing to do with anything in my life, right? It's just something I think I might enjoy. So that's why I did it. And, I'll meet new people, I'll be getting out of the house and all that other stuff, because there is like a little bit of that magical energy right now where, again, if we do things we haven't done before, who the hell knows what you will discover? And I would pay attention to that. You have the Four Cups. Four Cups is a card that can represent contemplation and apathy. I really do feel like heavy contemplation energy on this Four Cups for you, Libra. I'm not getting what I normally say about the Four Cups, which is he needs to accept this new offer. There could be offers coming in for you, but I think you are in this contemplation mode. You have the Hermit and the King of Swords. Hermit, he is kind of in contemplation mode, we could say. He's put himself in isolation so that he can find his inner light, but also so he can think, maybe. King of Swords, kind of similar. King of Swords, he has great discernment, but he has great discernment because he spends a lot of time thinking, right? So I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. I don't think it's a bad thing, Libra. Like, I think it's a good thing. You could just be processing a lot of information this week, or you could just be doing a lot of thinking. Like I said, I don't think it's necessarily bad. You have the King of Cups. It could be your emotions that you're processing as well. The whole point of the King of Cups is that he's in the deep ocean, and he has explored his emotions to a very deep level to see how he feels about things. And, again, maybe you're doing that. I always say that we have this fish over here, this whale. I like to say that this is a whale because, I think the King of Cups sometimes says, there's nothing wrong with exploring your emotions, but don't drown in your emotions. Eventually whales have to come up to the surface and breathe. And so I kind of do get that feeling here where it's like saying, yeah, I mean, take time to explore how you feel about everything, but also make sure you're also kind of coming up for air and breathing and getting into the real world with this King of Cups energy. As long as you do that, I think you will be fine. So let's see what comes up for you. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Magician. He is pointing towards the Hierophant here, and the Magician, of course, is about manifestation. So a lot of you could be manifesting your light, or you could be kind of like reinventing yourself on what makes you special, because he has the star inside his lantern here on the Hermit. But I think he needs to blast that star out all over the place. The Magician, he has this snake right here, and the snake represents the Ouroboros, which represents reinvention. And so a lot of you maybe have spent many years reinventing yourselves, and it's like now it's time to put that on display. Now it's time to show the world like what you're made of, or now it's time to kind of be the star, right? And that's what I would do here. With the Four of Cups, you have the High Priestess. Yeah, like I said, very interesting. What's super interesting about this reading is everybody's reading has been about action this week, which makes sense. We just had Saturn move into Aries, your opposite sign, Saturn, Aries. And so everybody's reading has been about action. Your reading is very different. Your reading is definitely more contemplative. It's more kind of like inner world type activities, which kind of makes sense because, again, Aries is your opposite sign. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't take action, but what I am saying is, like, unlike everybody else, it might be a good week for you to be contemplative. It might be a good week for you to explore your inner world, to take time to listen to your intuition and all that other stuff. So, that's what I would do. Here you go. With the King of Cups, you have the Star. I knew the Star was going to come up because of that Hermit card showing up there. So it's definitely time for you to, like, shine your inner light. I think I've said this to you before as well, Libra. That I think it's time for you to, like, dive into the deep end. She's just dipping her toes in the water, but she needs to make the full commitment to get into that pool of water. And so I feel it is time for you to, like, make the to dive into the deep end. Not even, it's like you have to take your swimmies off. You have to jump into the deep end and learn how to swim. And maybe that's what you're doing with this Star card. This could be you, like, trying to accomplish a goal, a dream, or something else. I also think it would be a great time for you to focus on the big picture. With the Star, we have to focus on this star right here. That star is our North Star. It is our guiding light. It is the thing that we move towards, that we allow to guide us in life. With Neptune and Pisces, which we've had for the last 14 years, I think Neptune and Pisces was here to have everybody here on Earth right now come up with some sort of North Star that they follow. And this could be anything. It could be, it could be some sort of purpose. It could be some sort of idea that you want to bring into the world. But we all kind of need to do that. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this card. It says angels are watching. It says there's nothing to worry about. Angels are watching over you. You have this Tears of Remorse. It says make peace with your regrets and allow the past to guide your future actions. Six of Swords in this row. So I think everybody has to do this. We just had that full moon, or we had that full moon in Scorpio in the middle of May, and that full moon in Scorpio was kind of all about releasing things that hurt us in the past, or regrets and sadness and all that other stuff. And I feel like you are being guided in a new direction. Like I said, Two of Cups. You don't have the Two of Cups here, but that Caduceus card is giving me Two of Cups energy. It's like saying you need to listen to your higher self. It's like your angels are kind of guiding you. You have the Hermit, the Two of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. Hermit is about getting out into the world. He is in hermit mode. This isn't accurate tarot, Libra, but I believe that the Hermit, his next step should be to come down from the mountain. He's been in isolation. I think that when you've been hurt, or when the world is going crazy or whatever, it's very easy to stay in isolation, and it's very easy to not believe that you can change the world. But I think we're in a time where literally it is going to be us people that changes the world. It's not going to be the government or aliens or something like that. It's like we are the ones that are going to have to do it. And you definitely don't want the robots to do it. So I have been begging people to shine their inner light more, so that we can stop the robots and make sure that we don't get turned into robots and all that other stuff. So definitely time to come down from the mountain. You have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, work hard, play hard. I feel pretty good about this for you. Two of Pentacles is work hard, play hard, but I just feel like you are doing that this week. You could be taking action, even though it seems like a contemplative week. Like I said, with Saturn finally in Aries, definitely you could be taking more action towards things that you want to create or build in your life. And I feel that would be great with the Two of Pentacles. I also feel that you could be, I have like investment popping into my head. You have the Seven of Pentacles right next to this Two of Pentacles, and you always get the Seven of Pentacles with me. I'm always saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? I feel like you're investing your energy. I'm not talking about money here. It could be money, but it could be anything, any type of energy that you are investing in something. And so I feel a lot of you could be like looking at like where you put your energy and making better investments, which makes sense with the Seven of Pentacles. You have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is, of course, moving on to calmer shores. Again, it's been a great week of improvements. Really, I thought that last week, the week of the 26th, was going to be like the really good week for people. But I don't know. It just seems like it's this week that is a lot better. And it just seems like this week is kind of like people creating improvements and heading on to calmer shores and releasing things from the past. Again, with Aries, all this Aries energy, we have to completely let go of the past and completely start over. Or it's not really starting over. It's just starting like a new journey in life. We have to initiate something new. And I've been preparing people for this for years. I've been talking about this, that we all should be working towards something new, something bigger and better and greater. And that's what you could be doing with the Six of Swords for sure. With the Hermit, you have the Knight of Wands again. So yes, it's time to get out into the world. Again, go take a class. Go take a cooking class, a dancing class, something. Go for a walk. Maybe you go to the same store every single day like I do. Go to a different one, right? And, just have different experiences. And if you do that, it will probably lead to better opportunities. And that's what I would do here. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the King of Swords, yes, which we have twice right here. The King of Swords is discernment, and like I said earlier in the reading, I feel like you have like developed these powers of discernment, being able to tell what's good, what's bad, what's right for you, what's wrong for you, all those different things. And I just feel that you're getting better at like listening to yourself, or something is happening here for you, Libra. With the Six of Swords, you have the World card. Yes, the world is an accomplishment or an achievement. The world is also, what I think is more important for Libra, is that the world, for you, I think, is about you creating your own world. She has these two wands. One wand is kind of like the magician's wand, which you have. You can create with your manifestation powers and all that other stuff. The other wand is more about kind of like creating with action. And I think if you mix those two things together, you literally could be creating your own world that you want to live in, or doing things to make that happen. And I think doing that will be amazing with the World card, so that's what I'd be paying attention to. The World can absolutely be some sort of accomplishment as well. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you can't make this one up, Libra. It says, go on an adventure. Today is the day to try something daring. There you go. You have this, write a letter. It says, write a letter to your inner child. One thing I will say is, there's been a lot of inner child type stuff coming up in the readings for months, like Six of Cups, Sun, Page of Swords, things like that. So clearly the universe is trying to get us to get back in touch with our inner child, which kind of makes sense. The Go on an Adventure card, I don't know, I've been beating this to death for you, Libra, for this whole entire reading. So I think it's definitely, I would choose your own adventure. Choose some sort of adventure to go on. It could be anything. It could be learning something new, taking a class, could be anything. And that's what I would do here. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Page of Pentacles is like learning something new. He is the card of studiousness, so I would be open to learning. He can also be the card of like a messenger or news, and you have that Caduceus card at the beginning. It says you will receive news from afar. So if you've been waiting for news or waiting for approval on something or waiting to hear back on something, you definitely could be getting that news. I think what's more important than that is the news that you receive from your intuition, your higher self, your dreams, your daydreams, your night dreams, all that. And that's what I would really be listening to with the Page of Pentacles, is your inner voice, right? And I think as long as you do that, things will go very well. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles can be a change in direction. It also says, is the juice worth the squeeze? I mean, I've been saying this to you for like 3 years now, probably something like that. So you are a Libra. You are good at weighing your options. You are good at looking at both sides of something, taking a neutral, stance on what you're doing and kind of deciding if something's worth it or not. And so clearly it is time for you to make sure that the things that you're working on, the things that you're creating are worth it. I'm also, the thing about the Seven of Pentacles is that we're not starting over. Like he is looking at, he's grown these pentacles and he just maybe wants to go grow something else, but maybe he's afraid to let go of this because he has grown something, but really he's learned a lot from what he has grown. So he needs to take that knowledge forward and grow something new because that's where success will come from. So I think you need to realize that you are not starting over. You're starting from a place of knowledge and wisdom right here with the King of Swords. We could say that this is you. We could say that you are showing up in a very strong position, and whenever you show up as yourself, kind of puts you in a position of power and strength. I feel like you are in a position of change, Libra. I think you are in this time of, doing new things and exploring new ideas, and that's pretty much all I get off of that King of Swords. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Four of Pentacles. It's like saying there's nothing for you in the past. The Four of Pentacles, he's holding on to something that no longer serves him, and he needs to open up. He's afraid that if he lets go of these Four of Pentacles, and if he moves on to something new, that he's going to be negative Pentacles, right? So it's like, I look at the Four of Pentacles as a card of holding on to something when there's a brighter future. There's something much better for you. I always use the example, there used to be a meme online. It was a little girl. She was holding on to a teddy bear. God or Jesus was standing in front of her, and he had this big ass teddy bear behind his back. And I don't remember exactly what it said, but it said something like, sometimes what you're holding on to is preventing you from something better, right? Something along those lines. And, to me, that is the Four of Pentacles. It's a card that says, do not argue for your limitations, meaning that you are holding on to something, or you could be, that is really preventing you from having something greater. And I feel like that there could be something greater coming in for you, whatever you're holding on to. Yes, with the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Two of Wands. It's time for adventure. It's time for change. The story of this card is that he's built something, this castle that he's standing on top of, and he rushed to a finish line. He didn't really enjoy the journey, and now he thinks he knows everything, and he thinks that he thinks there's nothing more for him to do, but really there's a lot that he could do if he got out into the world. He's looking at the world here. He's not looking at the world right here in his hands. And I think you need to realize that there are so many opportunities. There are so many different things you can do in the world, right? And we have the world right here. So, connected. And I feel this is saying it's time to explore the world. With the King of Swords, you have the Four of Swords. I thought you had the Four of Swords twice. Am I making that up? I guess I'm making that up. But Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering. He is also hoping and praying for a blessing, right here. There's a person who is blessing another person right here. So I actually feel pretty good about this. You could be creating your own blessings right now, Libra, and obviously that would be a good thing. You could do this by asking, right? You have that Caduceus card, you and your higher self. It's you need to ask your higher self for blessings or to help you create something. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Accept Help card and this Releasing Blocks card. Again, I'm pretty sure you've had this card 3 times in a row, which is crazy. But you definitely are clearly releasing some sort of block. I think asking for help would be a good thing for you as well, Libra. Asking people to assist you and guide you, which could be hard for you, but, I think that it's something that if you do it, you'll be happy that you did. It'll probably solve your problems very quickly, so I would. You have the Moon, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. The Moon is normally a card of fears, fantasies, illusions, but in the good stuff, it would say that you understand your path more, or that you are seeing the path that you're on more clearly. I kind of look at the Moon in the good stuff as gaining clarity on the direction that you're moving in. The other thing that I'm getting here is that I think you need to see something through to the end. We have these 2 pillars right here, and these 2 pillars are a warning to the Fool. They're basically a distraction to the Fool on his journey, but they also kind of tell him, see this project or see this idea all the way to the end. So if you are currently like in the middle of something, like in the middle of a project or working towards something or improving something in your life, I feel this is saying like, don't stop now, keep going. And you will see it through to the end. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness. You get this card with me a lot as well. And I feel that a lot of Libras have almost been forced to have to be resourceful. So you've probably had issues with your resources over the past many years. And now, I think this has taught you a lot, which is good. And I feel now you are in a time of multiplication. We have this rabbit right here. The rabbit can represent fertility and abundance, can represent fears and anxiety, right? The whole point of the card is that she's focused on the pentacle, not the rabbit. So she's focused on what she does have. She's not focused on all the reasons to be worried about her finances. But again, the rabbits can also represent multiplying. They multiply very quickly. And I think one of the best things that people can do right now is focus on the activities that you do that create a multiplication, that have more of a result. Like in work, in business, in love, in every area of your life, there are certain things, they call it the 80-20 rule, right? You get 80% of your results from 20% of the work. What is the 20%? And that is what she is asking you to pay attention to. You have the Five of Swords, again, coming up in the good stuff. So you could be removing things that no longer serve you. You could be cutting things out that have been holding you back. And of course, I think that would be a good thing with the Five of Swords, removing things that no longer serve you, cutting things out. In the good stuff, this card can also represent taking some sort of risk. Usually the risk we take with the Five of Swords is like putting ourselves out there or, the risk of doing something that could lead to a victory. He is victorious right here, this guy. So if you're taking a risk to like enter competition or something like that, could be a victory. With the moon, you have the Nine of Wands. Yes, don't give up for sure. I think this is just simply saying that if you've been working on something or if you're in the middle of something, which is kind of the words that I was getting, that you shouldn't give up. The Nine of Wands is a card of experimentation. And so it's my card of like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I feel if you experiment more, try more new things, things will go very well. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is good. Six of Cups is your inner child, which we talked about earlier. Six of Cups is a turnaround. In the good stuff, the Six of Cups can be a gift from the universe. And the gift we usually get from this card is that we have been bumping up against an obstacle for a long time, and it can represent the removal of that obstacle. So a lot of you could be moving past obstacles or removing obstacles from your life. With the Five of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is about seeing things clearly for the first time. So she is looking forward into the future, and she finally has clarity on her situation. So a lot of you could be in this time of great clarity, or you could be in a time where you're getting great clarity in your life, and obviously that would be a good thing. You have this chair-filled card. It says, someone new is entering into your life. Not really a love reading, but you do have a lot of people here. So it could be love. It could be any type of person that is coming into your life. But you could just be opening to a whole group of new people. If you're adventuring, if you're taking classes, like I said, or doing something fun in your life, there could be a lot of new people. You have this July card. I always clarify these monthly cards, and you also have this heart card. It says love, deep affection, and caring. So if you are looking for love, it could be coming in the month of July. It could also be a person who's born in July or something like that. It could be a person that you met last July. Who knows? But definitely could be a very strong connection. You could be feeling, I'm getting like a side message here as well, Libra, that like about connection, just like in general. I feel that you could be feeling more connected in July. And not that there's anything wrong with this month, but it just, the first part of the reading, it looks to me like you are in contemplation mode, which is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that for you. And so maybe you feel more kind of grounded in July or more connected. You have this March card. You have this ink pot. It says problems to be resolved. You could be clearing things up that you've dealt with since March. So again, a lot of you could be clearing up, things that have gotten in your way or things that have slowed you down since March. You have this door. It says opportunities are waiting for you. Yes, you just have to kick the door down, Libra. Seven of Pentacles, right? You just have to make the change. You have to explore new things, have new opportunities, explore new opportunities, and all sorts of stuff. You have this happiness card. So we see the happiness in this reading. Star, Six of Cups. There's good happiness energy. With the King of Cups showing up in this reading, I would make sure that you are not drowning in your emotions, and I would, get out into the world and be, do things that make you happy. I pulled an extra card because I just saw this at the top of the deck, and I felt like I needed to see what it was, and it says marriage on it. So I don't know, if you're hoping to get married, or if you're hoping to meet a person, maybe it doesn't happen this second, of course, but, in the near future, you could be meeting a person that you will commit to. I'm wondering if this is saying you need to marry yourself. Like, you need to commit to yourself more and your ideas and, like, the things that you want to do in life, and I think that would be good as well. But this looks pretty good here, Libra, so thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.